All right, never mind all that. There was too much music. I couldn't talk. All right, so today's live, morning and Merry Christmas. Today's live is about monitoring our self-talk. Today, what I really want you guys to remember is that a lot of what we heard growing up has formed our self-talk and the recording that we have in the background. For example, if we got into the habit of earning our love from our parents, doing the right thing, or hearing our parents say, you never clean up your room, or you're silly, or you're fat, or you're stupid, even if they meant it in a nice way, it is something that formed in the background and formed your story. And this is what we really have to monitor right now. So today, what I really, really want us to do is think about what has been said. Okay? What has been said to you, and how can we turn these things around? If they have formed our self-talk, it is very, very important that we clean that up. Today is about befriending the reflection in the mirror. I'm going to defer right now to Michael Singer's Untethered Soul. And if there's a line in there that's quite funny, actually. It's as if we have this roommate, our inner dialogue, and this inner dialogue is somewhat of a psychopath. Talks a lot of crap. And we can't escape because we didn't even realize we were trapped in there with this thing, right? So how do we fix that? How do we befriend that? How do we change these things? Well, we start by looking in the mirror and really, really befriending that reflection. Be a best friend to yourself. Be a best friend to that mirror. It's very, very crucial and critical. Like some of the things that we may have heard as children, you're not good enough. You don't clean up your room. You don't do this. You're messy. You're this, you're that. All of this stuff needs to change, and we need to start affirming these things and changing. So what I really want to do right now is I want you to all to look into the mirror and say, I release all the negative talk of my past so that I may live in the present moment. It's a very crucial statement because many of us, if we listen to our stories are really, really about our past. You guys referred to your childhood as if it's the present moment when it's not. And so how do we catch up? How do we start, revising these things? Well, you start by making sure that every day that you look in the mirror, you say, whatever I say to myself in the mirror today will be with love. With love. I will lovingly speak to my reflection every single day. I will take every negative statement I ever heard in my past and I'm going to autocorrect it and revise it. So for example, if I heard growing up, you're fat or you're not good enough or any of these things, I'm going to revise these statements and say, no, I am beautifully made and perfectly made in the image of God. If I heard, you're not good enough, I would think that's an impossible statement because God is worthy. God is everything and I am this God. Therefore, that is a negative statement that is not true. This is really about monitoring our self-talk. This is about understanding what we're saying to ourselves and changing what we say to ourselves. And if we can grab at least 2 statements, like every day that I look in the mirror, I'm going to say something loving to myself. And I'm going to be loving to this reflection. Or I'm perfectly made in the image of God. There's no way that I could be anything other than perfect. Perfectly made. These are powerful statements, and yet they are true. They're very true. So today, this is what this is about really starting to pay attention to our self-talk, our inner conversations, and changing these inner conversations. It's crucial here, Now, this is very important. If you take these 2 little phrases, whatever they may be, really think about what you may have heard growing up and how can you take it and say the exact opposite of what you once knew. Change what you're saying. So, for example, if you heard, I'm not good enough, and that's what you heard, you're going to change that to there's no way I can't be worthy. I'm made in the image of God. If you heard you were compared to your siblings as children and, they were the smart one, you weren't the smart one, or whatever, you know what I'm talking about. Unconscious parents will do this. It's not their fault. As we grow up and we become unconscious parents unless we fix it, right? So if we heard we're not smart, then we change that statement to, I am divinely intelligent, for I am one with the divine mind of God. Therefore, there is no way that that statement could be true. Previous one, I mean. It's about revising what we heard as children, and it's very important that we pick at least 2 phrases and we say these to ourselves over and over and over again. I'm divinely made. I'm perfect. I'm perfectly made in the image of God is a very powerful statement that will always be true. I am my best friend. The reflection in the mirror is my best friend. I love everything about this reflection is another statement that should be true. So pick 2 phrases today, you guys, revise them, and say them to yourselves again, over and over again. Now for our journaling exercise, I want us to continue on this trajectory, and I want us to really monitor our self-talk. I want you guys today to think about how many times today did you repeat any negative story to yourself? Write that down. How many times did you do it? Did you tell your friends? Write it down. Make note of it. Not the story. Simply make note how many times you did that today. And then what I would like you to do is the same thing that we're doing in our mirror is how can you revise what you've said that was negative today? And how can you say something different tomorrow that transmits something pleasing? Because what I really want you guys to be made aware of is the things that we were told as children and the things that we were told as we were forming ourselves are what we project. And we need to become very hyper aware of what we're transmitting, because once we become conscious of that, we change our word and our word changes our world. We must become aware of this inner dialogue. So that's what this is about today. Today is about really, really paying attention. How many times have I said something negative today? I need to revise it. And tomorrow, what will I say? That's what this is about. And lastly, what I would like us to do is to end this meditation simply surrounding ourselves with love. Love is all there is. And if at any point in time you don't feel love, you need to recharge that battery. So today, place your hands on your heart and remember that you are love. Sink into that feeling. Touch that light within you that is always, always, always there, and surround yourself with this love. And what you will notice is eventually what will happen is we will start transmitting a pleasing personality, a loving personality. And we need to become aware of that because a lot of the times, like I said, we have formed unconsciously attachments to negative stories, and today is about correcting those things. As long as we do this, you guys, and we do this on a regular basis, it changes everything. As soon as we become aware of the unconscious and we make it visible, we can work with it. This is not about beating ourselves up. This is not about realizing we've been unconscious parents and beating ourselves up. None of that's going on here. Today is really, truly, I have become aware of my pattern and I'm changing my pattern. I'm consciously choosing to revise the things I heard as a child, the way that I judge others. Because you have to understand, every single person you encounter is your reflection. So you are not seeing them, you're seeing yourself. And so if we understand that, then how we judge these people determines how we see ourselves. And then they in turn behave exactly as we've judged them. And they don't exist outside of us except in our head as we see them. So therefore, we must correct this reflection. We must adjust, and we must become hyper vigilant of our inner dialogue. Our inner dialogue is what's forming the world outside. And it's very crucial that we become aware, change it, revise it, and make a constant habit. If you need to, start posting these affirmations all over your mirror. Take 2 phrases and post them on your mirror. But make a conscious effort. That's what this message is today. This is what day 3 is. Day 3 is monitoring our self-talk, revising our story, and choosing at least 2 beautiful affirmations that we can use to revise our inner dialogue. Merry Christmas, you guys. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Merry day after Christmas for some of you, depending on where you are in the world. But again, I'm sticking with this because it's so important. It's so important, you guys. The more that we become aware of the stories that we're telling, the more that we become aware of the way that we judge what we assume to be others, the more that we become aware of the stories that we inherited as children and start revising them, the quicker our life changes. That's why this is so important. Day 3, this day 3, is critical to revising, to stop living in the past and becoming present. Because it is very, very, very easy to blame the almighty them or our parents, but we're not there anymore. We're here. So what are we doing now to change the things that we inherited? It's important. Very. All right. So I know you're in the middle of your holidays. I'm not going to interrupt that. I just want to continue doing this. I did promise that for the next 21 days, this is what we're going to do. A few minutes every day. I will come on. You guys can choose to do this whenever you wish. Whenever you wish. It's up to you. But just make sure that we do this consistently, because we are literally learning how to heal ourselves and how to revise our stories. And the more consistent we are with this practice, the sooner you guys will see how quickly the world changes around you. This mirror right here represents our universal reflection to our conscious mind, to our subconscious mind. And so everything that we say to this mirror is gospel. So let's make sure that we start saying something good and pleasing and revising what we've once known. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, whatever we celebrate, it's all the same. There's only one source. However we choose to love and appreciate those things, may you enjoy your time with your family and your holidays. And remember, today's journaling exercise is also crucial. How many times have you said something negative? You don't have to repeat the negative, just make note of it. And what are you going to do to change what you've said? That's crucial, because we don't want to fall asleep at the wheel. And remember, when you say something and it starts to feel bad, that's your heart trying to tell you, hey, that's not reality. That's you judging and falling asleep at the wheel. So if at any point in time you felt bad, you felt angry, you felt sad, you've misjudged something, this is your opportunity to correct it. Remember, your heart's your seeing eye dog, and it will get you through the eye of the needle. First and foremost, become aware of the stories that we're saying to ourselves. That's day 3 of our Mirror Talks, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for participating and for joining me on this. I love you. Bye-bye.